Rapfest Radio on rapfestradio.com. We're not number one. God is. We may not be the best, but our purpose is to lead you to the best. Jesus Christ. www.rapfestradio.com. Old school to new school. Classics to exclusives. Gospel hip-hop music and videos. Live video interviews Monday nights at 8 p.m. Watch. Learn. Love. Support. Rapfest Radio on rapfestradio.com. Rapfestradio.com.
Welcome to the Heat Academy.
Yeah. I was 9 years old when daddy first touched me. At 15 I ran away and never stopped running. I met a man who took me in cause I was pretty though. It said that you can make some money in my video. I get high and drunk just to make it do a show and act like I'm enjoying it, but really this is all a show. I feel degraded, purity obliterated. This is all I know, I really hate it. Mr. Minor, are you listening? I know that you're a Christian and got computer programs to block me from your vision. And every time you watch me, you say that I'm the issue. Your pastor preach about how not to let me catch you slipping, but maybe I'm a victim. Maybe I'm just trapped in the system. And next time you pray, maybe I might get a mention. Before you talk about me, remember that I'm lost and your secret pleasure coming at a cost. Dear Mr. Christian, I know you're on a mission. I know you say the answer to my problem is religion. I know I'm supposed to change the way I live and stop sinning, but I'd appreciate it if you take some time to listen. Dear Mr. Christian, I know you're on a mission. I know you say the answer to my problem is religion. I know I'm supposed to change the way I live and stop sinning, but I'd appreciate it if you take some time to listen. Dear Mr. Christian.
Oh no. Man, I'm on that chronic, higher than a comet. Sipping gin and tonic, drinking till I vomit. Tatted on my arms, like tatted on my face, yeah. Pants hanging low, Nina on my waist. I be slinging sauce, plus I got that hard. Die for my hood, ride for my boulevard. I got love for my dogs, but never for these girls. It's M.O.E. cause money rule the world. But Mr. D1, I grew up from it, so my pops get killed in front me. So my mama do dope in front me. Felt like ain't nobody love me. Uniform dirty, dressing bumming. Went to school, they called me ugly. Called the bus, they used to jump me. God, I just prayed till you Sunday. Now it's Monday, I'm starving. Sip sour milk out the carton. Talk to myself while I'm walking. Should I put myself in the coffin? I don't know. All I grew up with is trouble. Ain't no role models. I knew the struggle.
Dear Mr. Christian, I know you're on a mission. I know you say the answer to my problem is religion. I know I'm supposed to change the way I live and stop sinning, but I'd appreciate it if you take some time to listen. Dear Mr. Christian, I know you're on a mission. I know you say the answer to my problem is religion. I know I'm supposed to change the way I live and stop sinning, but I'd appreciate it if you take some time to listen. Dear Mr. Christian.
Excuse me, I don't quite understand ya. Propaganda and banter and all of this empty chatter. And amidst these amens, hallelujahs and shucking jiving, I see a lot of hypocrites and hyper-criticizing. Mr. Lecrae, my mama sold me up the river for some rocks, and daddy told me I was nothing but a problem. Now here you come telling me I'm a low-down dirty sinner, and you got the nerve to wonder why I'm in these streets robbing. Well, gon' get back, man, and gon' get back, man. I don't need to be judged by you and all of your whack friends. Ain't gluttony a sin while you staring at my gin. Where I'm from, we don't pretend, we know we ain't getting in. Now the world don't trust me, and these streets done crush me. Thought you were known for love, but you just love to judge me. Truth is, ironically, you need me around though, cause otherwise you got nobody else to look down on.
Dear Mr. Christian, I know you're on a mission. I know you say the answer to my problem is religion. I know I'm supposed to change the way I live and stop sinning, but I'd appreciate it if you take some time to listen. Dear Mr. Christian, I know you're on a mission. I know you say the answer to my problem is religion. I know I'm supposed to change the way I live and stop sinning. But I'd appreciate it if you take some time to listen. Dear Mr. Christian.
Welcome to the Heat Academy.
Yeah.
Wow. Welcome back. Way to start the show. Welcome back to Rap Fest Radio after a week off. No better way to 2 weeks off.
2 weeks.
Oh, right. We had 2 weeks off. Right.
Last week.
Right. 2 weeks off. Wow. We were on vacation. And we didn't even go anywhere. We didn't go anywhere. Wow. We forgot. We might have to go again. We might have to go again. But yeah, welcome Rap Fest Radio, rapfestradio.com here on a Monday night. Episode number 146, I believe it is, something like that. Jay Skywalker in the building. You just finished listening to a brand new song by Derek Minor featuring D1 and Lecrae called Dear Mr. Christian. Wow.
Crazy.
It was going to start again. I should have let it play again. All night. Just the whole hour. Just sit here all night. Just listen.
Just let everybody meditate.
Yo.
Serious stuff.
Some serious stuff. Talk about it, man.
Nah, I actually heard that track over the weekend. I heard that they put the song out and they just put the video. And off the top, I'm like, this is stuff that we've been talking about with a lot of the artists that come on and talk about what they're kind of going into their music and what they want to really reach, and we were just talking how we've had conversations before about what you've been working on with your new music, and it's something that there's been tracks like this a couple times but not so deep, and I think even for this track, the angle that they took for each artist to just relay a certain visual really for you on the type of people that we deal with in the church. These are people that are in the church. These are people that are right outside the church. These are people right in your family. And in reality, like they said in the track, the person is claiming and declaring, I know I need to change, but I just need you to listen to me real quick. I just need you to listen. You got your job. You're in the church. You're in ministry. You're involved. You're doing your thing. But I'm struggling with this part-time job maybe. I'm struggling with the drugs. I'm struggling with getting out of the crack house. I'm struggling with this. And you gotta understand, this is just where I'm at right now. So yeah, I know I need to get out of it, but maybe I do know, maybe I don't know. I just need you to listen and pray for me. Help me out. It's just so crazy. It made me think about the people that I've dealt with, in my life, just for a second. I'm not even, and just kind of looking at, man, I haven't called this person in a while. Maybe I should give him a call. Maybe I should say a prayer for this person real quick. So for me, involved in ministry, involved in Rap Fest, involved in music, involved in whatever the case may be, just knowing the people that I'm coming in contact with now, it's just something that was like an eye-opener, a wake-up call that's kind of been done a couple times by a lot of people, but it's another one, hey, don't forget.
Yeah, don't forget.
The thing is, I think we went, especially in the Christian hip hop community, I know a lot of times our mantra is, we're in it but we're not of it, and we've always been adamant and trying to show that we're not of it. But I think we went too far, in trying to not be of it, that we've disconnected ourselves from what real people are going through, real life. These are people some of these people are in our families, and for the sake of not being of it, we've cut even members of our own family off. For the sake of not trying to be contaminated, not trying to look unholy. We don't hang around it. We say that all the time in our songs. We don't hang with the same people. We don't do the same things. And don't get me wrong, you're not supposed to do the same things and stuff like that.
Right.
But the very reason why we're still in the world, I believe, as Christians, is for that purpose. The only reason I believe Christians are in the world is to reach others. I think that's our only purpose here in the world. If it was just about, relationship with God and being saved, if that was it, then he could have just taken us as soon as we accepted him. But we're still here for that purpose of reaching and affecting and impacting, and that's exactly what Christ did when he was here. That's exactly what his motto was.
Far beyond just the genre of hip hop. I think that it's become a mindset of the church. And it's so sad because if the church gets into this spiritual superiority complex, we're never going to reach the world. And we can't, what's the use of light within light?
Right.
Exactly. Nobody sees it.
No one sees it because,
it's light everywhere.
So, it makes it kind of defeats our mission that God gave to us. We forget that was something that Jesus gave to us in He said, go out. You know, go out. And he didn't say create events within the four walls for the church people within the walls. He said, go out. And I'm not knocking. That's good because fellowship within the brethren is important. Relationship. But let's not be an exclusive society.
Exactly. Secret society.
Yeah, I mean, it's a message that has to continue being brought out. You know, I wouldn't mind one of these tracks every year or maybe two. You know,
every couple months.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Or maybe
like, we just need to just run through the streets, like, you know, because like it's really a shame, like, you know what I mean, and like you live in neighborhoods where, you know what I mean, people get into gang activity, this and that and the other. Like right in my neighborhood, like maybe 2 weeks ago, a 16-year-old girl got shot. You know what I mean? Just leaving her sweet 16 party, and you start I sit and I think it's like. You ask the question why, you know what I mean? It's like you have to put yourself in the mind of, you know what I mean? Sometimes we've been saved so long, we've lost understanding of what it's like to be alive without Christ. You know what I mean? Like when you face depression, when you feel like you're less than anything, when you feel like you're not good enough, how do you deal with that as someone who doesn't have Christ? What do?
Right.
You go to gangs because they make you feel welcome. They make you feel like your family. You know what I mean? It's nothing to spend $250 on sneakers because as soon as you put them on and you step on the block, you feel like everybody makes you feel like, you know what I mean, like you're $1 million. You know what I mean? So you'll go and you'll spend your last $250 because it does something for how you feel. And the truth of the matter is, yes, we as Christians know that Jesus is supposed to, you know what I mean, give us that you know what I mean, sense of significance, but for those who don't have Jesus, what do you expect? They're searching for that same thing.
Right, and that's where the church community comes into play. You know, and I go back to one of the tasks in church nobody really likes to do but does it anyway, the ushers. As soon as someone walks in through the doors of a church, they have to be greeted with that acceptance of community like a gang would. They have to almost recognize the fly kicks the brother has on. You know, like, yo, those are hot sneakers. You need a seat? How many people? 3 of you? Come on, thanks, welcome. Forget about everything else. I mean, we very easily, the church has for many years, you know, said, come as you are, we'll change you. You know, as opposed to come as you are, let God change you.
Exactly. You know, the funny thing is, the church I go to New York Dream Center, the pastor of the LA Dream Center, it's funny, like that's the day I decided to join that church was because I heard Pastor Matthew Barnett do a message, and he titled the message Belong Then Believe. And as soon as I heard that, because it was like up to this point I was still just a visitor, you know what I mean, like I like what they were doing in the community and stuff like that, so I was curious and whatnot like that. But I was like, you know what I mean, you gotta make sure it's not anything weird going on. Right. So like when he said belong then believe, I was like, whoa, yeah, let me get my stuff just in case I gotta break out. You know what I mean? But it changed my whole concept of discipleship, of ministry, of evangelism. Because what he said is like, how did the disciples knew Jesus was God? Did he show up like, yeah, I'm Jesus, come follow me? That's not what he did. He said, come follow me. He just said, come. That's it.
Right.
And as they lived life with him, they recognized who he was because of his actions, because of the power, and because of the authority, you know what I mean, in his life. He didn't say, let me teach you on how to be a Christian. He modeled it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And in his modeling life in front of them, they caught on like, wait a minute, this is not a regular guy. You know what I mean? Right. And that's the amazing thing. And that's who we ought to be as Christians. It's not so much of like, okay, wait, yeah, I know you have some issues, but you know what I mean, how about you get a longer skirt before you come here? How about you do that? Right. How about you cover up those tattoos? Yeah, those jewelry, no, we don't really do that over here. You know what I mean? You're putting all these prerequisites on salvation without maybe without even knowing, but that's kind of what we do. You like, yeah, you can get saved, but before you can come here and receive Christ, you need to, you know what I mean, lengthen your skirt, you know what I mean? Right. You need to act a certain way, dress a certain way, like take your hat off, this and that and the other. And don't get me wrong, I understand there's rules, there's reasons for things. I'm not saying no, but the fact of the matter is, what's more important, your rules or this person's soul?
Right.
Yeah, and it goes back.
I have a question. You mentioned the Dream Center was the church you go to, and they're very evangelistic. You know, I mean, their church out in Cali, the work they do is phenomenal. And I'm sure they bring this into the New York area. We were involved with them for a little bit, and they did a lot of outreach. Because of your involvement with them, has it somewhat changed your mindset of when you're writing, your target audience, how you write the music?
It changed everything. It changed. It's like it's like, I know everybody says, yo, my church is the best and stuff like that, and I don't want it to sound like that, but truthfully,
my church is the best.
Basically, I mean, but truthfully, it really just changed just my worldview, my outlook. It really helped me love people. Because a lot of times when it gets down to it, like the brand of Christianity that a lot of us grew up with is not really about love. It's not really about people. It's about the appearance of holiness. Because it's not even really holiness. It's just about putting up this appearance that we don't want to get tarnished because we want the world to see us a particular way. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And when that's your focus, you're doing more harm than good. And two, you're lying to yourself because you're putting all this effort in pretending to be holy instead of being real and actually becoming holy by letting God, letting God in. And that's what it really boils down to is like the most important thing that I've learned is like I came from the church that the brand of Christianity that I'm used to is like, we go out there, preach to people, hand them tracts, this and that and the other, you know what I mean? But like, with the Dream Center, there's no tracks. You go, you scrub people's floors. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Right. Like, I've been in people's house. Yeah, you're serving. You're in people's house, scrubbing their floors, and you don't have to convince them about Christ after that. Right. You don't have to sell them anything after that. They ask you, okay, why are you here? What are you doing this? Oh, you're at church? Yes. What time is your service? You know what I mean? Right. It's straight up. That's what it is. Like, you know what I mean? Because they're flabbergasted that you care enough. Mm-hmm. To come to my house, pull my stove out, and clean all the junk behind it. You know what I mean? It's not just, oh, we're here to make ourselves feel good. Like, if all you're there for is to make yourself feel good, you'll quit after 2 weeks. You know what I mean? It really has to be about commitment, about a passion for people, and to really see lives change.
Which reminds me that we haven't moved our stove in a while.
I got you, man. I got you. I got my broom in the car.
Well, let's take the roaming camera.
Put them to the test.
Faith without words. Let your actions.
He quits after 2 minutes.
After
like,
2 minutes.
my asthma.
About that, yeah. About that. Only on Sabbath.
You know what I mean? Like, you already saved. You don't need that to be clean.
You clean your own. We'll backslide just for you to clean it. See if we come back. No, but it's one quick thing also about that belong then believe. It works. It definitely does work, but the leadership has to believe that belong then believe works. Mm-hmm. Because you can hurt your own congregation by trying to just accept people if you're not ready for that change yourself. Mm-hmm. I've seen that happen as well, mm-hmm. where people try to adapt that belong then believe concept or strategy, if you want to call it, and it backfires because now the people that feel like they belong, but they don't fit into what we had here previously. Mm-hmm. So now we're like, that's a little too much. We're not ready for that. And now all those people that thought they belonged are being pushed back and pushed back and pushed back to a point that they're not gonna have a chance to believe because they don't even feel like they belong. And I've witnessed this, firsthand. So it's really scary. It's a great thing. I think all churches should do that. It's like Pastor George always said, just come as you are. I don't care. Just come. Just come. Let God do it. I ain't changing you. God's going to change you.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's what it all takes. It really, everything starts from the leadership down. Whoever the leadership is, no matter what you're saying out of your mouth, like I said a little while ago, it's all about modeling. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I think, I can't remember where I heard it, like, if 75% of your communication is nonverbal, then what does that say? Like, only 25% of your words, even like, and as a parent, you know what I mean, it means even more to me. Like, I can tell my kids all day, don't do this, don't do that, don't do the other. But if I'm doing it, then there's no way they're going to listen to what I'm saying. They're going to do what I do.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's the way it is in all communication, in all relationship. It's not about what you say, it's about what you do. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because you know what I mean? your talk and your walk have to match up. I know it's cliche now, but you have to walk the talk. Like you have to walk it. It's more important to keep your mouth shut and do it. You know what I mean? Than opposed to talking and not doing it.
Even Jesus' example, he didn't talk the disciples to them, telling them, "This is who I am.
Exactly.
I'm gonna do that." No, follow me.
Exactly. Father, look what I've been doing all this time. That's why, like, you know what I mean, times when they didn't get it, he's like, are you still, like, haven't you been with me all this time? Like, haven't you seen me? Like, you know what I mean? It's all about modeling, and I think that's really what the world needs, is they know what's right and wrong. They know what the church's stance is on just about every issue. They know. You know what I mean? What they really need to know is, do we love them? You know what I mean? Do we care enough that, you know what, sometimes they don't have enough to eat? Do they care? Do we care that sometimes they're scared that somebody's going to kick in their door with a gun in their hand? What are they supposed to do? Like, a young person asked me that question just recently. Like, if somebody kicks into my house, you know what I mean, with a gun, like, you know what I mean, what am I supposed to do? I should have a gun too, like that. And it's something that I said a little while ago, is like, at the end of the day, everything boils down to, like, just two really important questions that chart your whole life. Do you believe God is who he said he is? And do you believe he can do what he says he can do? And your answer to that question, even as a Christian, and not just your textbook answer, but your real life answer, changes, it charts the course of your whole life. Like, if you really believe, you know what I mean, that God can protect you in any situation, then why do you need a gun? If you read the book, if you read the Bible, and you see God confusing armies to the point where they're killing themselves, if you believe that's the same God you serve, then you don't need protection. If you have God, if you really believe that, if you really believe that all things work together for your good, if you really truly believe that and base your life on that, then what are you worried about? You know what I mean? And that those are the, like, as Christians, is something that I think I heard somebody else say, like, even if just Christians, not even the unbelievers, if just all Christians live like God is who he said he is, the world will be drastically different.
Yep. We said that in our very first young adults meeting. Imagine if all of us honestly and truthfully believed every single word that's in scripture, like, for real. For what it is. You know, for what it is. Like, this is, God said it, I believe it, let's go. You know, but many of us are not there yet.
Yeah, and it's really a process, and the same thing I was saying to the young man I was talking to is like, listen, you know what I mean, you're new at this, I'm not going to expect you to, you know what I mean, this is not love at first sight as far as like, you know what I mean, I just met you and all of a sudden I know everything about you. It doesn't happen that way, and that's why it's like grace and love covers a multitude of sins. It's like, you know what I mean, not everybody's at the same place, and we just as we want to have grace for the unbeliever, we also have to have grace for believers who aren't really there yet. You know what I mean? So that's what we do. We just live based on that grace. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, you're not quite there yet, but I can't be mad at you for that.
Right, and it's funny, but that's what Pastor George has been preaching the last 5 weeks. The whole message of forget what you heard, you know, and it's all related to grace. God's grace, you know, covering us. You know, God's grace, that we can abide in God's grace, be free in God's grace. But people could also abuse God's grace.
It's like that's a question that's crossed my mind a lot of times. Like, you know what I mean, especially like since, you know what I mean, the topic of grace is becoming kind of the cool topic now. You know what I mean, it's becoming like the trending topic in a lot of, like, you know what I mean, especially TV ministries and
trending
stuff like that.
Trending now.
Yeah, no, it's
you know what I mean?
Yep.
And you know what I mean, if you take it wrong, you can, but at the end of the day, right, if you truly love God, and I can't tell you whether you love God or not,
right,
but if you truly love God, you're not going to intentionally abuse God. It's just like, it's more and more like I'm comparing our relationship with God to our relationship with people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I compare it to my relationship with my wife. You know what I mean? I know my wife loves me to death, and you know what I mean, I screw up quite often, you know what I mean, and you know what I mean, and she forgives me. But so can I take that as an excuse to screw up all the time because I know she will forgive me?
Right.
No, because I'm ruining that relationship. You know what I mean? Because every time when you purposely do stuff like that, you know what I mean, you're driving a wedge in that relationship. And it's the same thing in our relationship with God. If we think that abusing God's grace is going to improve our relationship with Him, you know what I mean, that makes no sense. You know what I mean? And like I was saying a little earlier before we got on the air, is like the way I look at sin is just that space between you and God, that distance between you and God. That's my, you know what I mean, working definition of it. So if you abusing God's grace is putting space between you and God, like, who are you really hurting? You know what I mean? You're not damaging God. God is not losing any power because you're not as close to Him. Like, that's one thing I have to remind myself all the time. Like, we're not doing God any favors. We're not here, you know what I mean? God is still God whether we're here or not, whether we worship Him or not, whether we, you know what I mean, whether we act like it or not. You know what I mean? Like, even our worship of God is not for God's benefit. It's for ours.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like, when it comes to abusing God's grace, like, I really try to stay far from judging another person's relationship with God, because I don't know your heart.
Right.
You know what I mean? But God,
who are we to judge?
you know what I mean? Exactly. Right. But if you know that you're taking God lightly, I promise you're not doing yourself any favors by doing that.
But it'll show. It'll show. I think that's the thing where, I hear what you're saying about not, you know, you can't judge it, but I think the other part of it is it's visible in a lot of situations lately too, where it's clear that, you know, again, you're gonna show your fruit, whether you're doing right.
I believe that 100%.
I think that's just, you know, it's unfortunate, but I think in the end it goes to where, you know, if your heart is there, it's gonna be clear.
Because you know what and God has been showing me as of late is that this relationship with God is not just about, it's not as mystical as we make it seem. It's not about, you know what I mean, God or Father, like, okay, if you do this, I'm gonna bless you, or if you do that, I'm blessed. It's not, that's part of it, yes, and God does bless you, you know what I mean? But what I'm beginning to find is that in following God's design for things, in and of itself is a blessing. You know what I mean? Because if you pattern your life after what God has set in place, you know what I mean? It's not about, oh, if you do this, you're going to go to hell. Or if you live life in this particular way, you will be blessed, because that's the best way to live.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, for instance, we can make it simple. Like, let's talk about sex before marriage. God is not sitting there, you know what I mean, with a special place in hell, you know what I mean, ready to toss you if you had sex before marriage. But if you follow that pattern, you'll find yourself with a lot less issues. Most likely, you won't have any baby mama issues. Right. You know what I mean? After you're married, you won't have issues with everybody in your circle has been intimate with you, and your spouse has to deal with everybody around you is knowing you alone. Right. You know what I mean? It's just simple, practical common sense. You know what I mean? When you really look at it, even when you get into tithing and your money and being a good steward and stuff like that. It's not even so much like if you tithe, then God will just bless you because you tithe. No, if you do that, if you follow that pattern, you know what I mean, it will, in and of itself is a blessing, because you're learning to be a good steward of money in general. You know what I mean? If you learn to set aside this for God first, and you learn to set aside this for yourself, and you learn to do this, it's not just God is mystically blessing you. You're learning how to be a good steward. You're learning to be responsible, and that's the best way to live.
So let me ask you a question, and this is not a written in stone answer, I expect. You mentioned before that the trending thing now seems to be, you know, grace, and maybe to an extreme of abusing grace. What does it benefit any church leadership, pastor, to promote a message like that? Like, you know, what do you think they're getting out of?
Well, the thing is, like, from a negative sense, like, I could see it being possible that if, you know what I mean, you make Christianity look easy, you know what I mean, to a certain extent, that, you know what I mean, you can get more people in your doors, which means more money, this and that, you know what I mean, you'd be able to do a census like David did, and be like, oh, like, I have this vast congregation.
That scares me. I think I get scared when I see.
Hey, that's exactly my point.
That scares me when I see learn how to get your ministry from 50 to 1,000 people.
I've seen stuff
I don't
like that.
understand.
Why would you want that?
I don't understand that.
It's crazy.
Like even if you do want to see your community affected, and yes, the community around you grows where they're more involved, I understand that, but I don't understand that. Why is that the point of going to see you or listening to you? I don't understand that.
And that's a crazy thing. And it's like, I have to say that I'm sure most people start off, especially in their humble beginnings, with their heart being right and what like that. And, you know what I mean, down the line, people get tripped up, just like David did, just like every great person in the Bible. You know what I mean? You start off when you didn't have anything, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? You were a gung-ho gangster Jesus all day, you know what I mean?
Right.
But, you know what I mean? When you're
struggling.
You know what I mean? When your bank account starts stacking and what like that, and you start seeing like, I got this, I got that, you know what I mean? It's easy to take your eye off God. It's like even my wife and I were talking about, you know what I mean, when it talks about it's easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to come to heaven. And it's like, and it's not even about being wealthy. It's not even the issue there. The issue is, who are you depending on?
Right.
You know what I mean? So like, you know what I mean, when you look at your congregation and see like, you know what I mean, I got 10,000, you know what I mean, showing up on a Sunday and one like that, you can gauge how much tithe money you have coming in. You know what I mean? You can say like, yeah, it's not a problem for us to buy that, pay for that, this and that. Like, and without even knowing it, your dependence is turning from depending on God and praying for miracles and, you know, praying for God to provide and open doors to like, okay, I can guarantee this amount of money on a Sunday, so I don't even have to ask God anything. I know how much money I'm getting, so I know I can do this, I can do that, I can do the other. And that's how it's like, it's the subtle shift away from depending on God to depending on yourself, depending on finances, depending on your bank accounts. And I think that's where the real danger is. Matter of fact, my pastor spoke on that just on Sunday, you know what I mean, on what mammon is. You know what I mean? Actually, he didn't even preach. He played a video sermon from someone else. I can't remember the guy's name. It's bad I don't remember his name. But he was talking about mammon is more than just, it's not just money. It's a spirit. And that's why the only place...
Young? I heard him talk about that before, so I
don't... Possibly, I really can't remember. But he was saying it's a spirit because there's only... That's the only place in the Bible where it says you can't serve God and mammon. You know what I mean? Because there are two rivalry gods, and when it all boils down to it, that's the spirit of the Antichrist. So it's like when you get to the point where you can depend on money, you can't depend on money and depend on God. You can't like look at yourself and say like, I have this much money in my bank account. You know what I mean? You're trusting money, you're trusting your job, like even, and it's not even, like I said, it's not even about being rich, because I was telling my wife just earlier today, like there's a lot of people without money that whole lives revolve around money, because you make your decisions based on how much money you have. You don't make a decision based on how big your God is. You make decisions based on how much money you have, on how much overtime you can work. You know what I mean? It's like you design your whole life, and whatever you're patterning your whole life at after, that's your God. You know?
No, it's good stuff, man. It's good stuff. People are probably like, yo, isn't this a hip-hop radio show? Yes, it is. And this is what we talk about. Real life issues, you know, because even as artists, as radio hosts, producers, and all of that, there are issues that we go through in everyday life. And, you know, our purpose here on this show is to help you maybe explore some avenues you haven't yet, or even look into some stuff that you never even realized you were doing that's either good or bad, and, you know, and investigate and open up your mind to say, you know what, let me look into this. And
exactly.
we encourage you always to go, you know, read scripture and do your own research. Don't take what we say as the final word. This is, you know, although we don't consider this to be entertainment, we're not the final authority on any of these topics. These are just our opinions, our thoughts, our experiences with God through church, through, you know, through prayer. But definitely some good stuff, man. It's, you know, and it is a trending topic, you know, grace, for sure. You know, and it's funny because, again, Pastor George just did a whole six sermon series on grace, and show grace through all different types of Bible stories. Sunday was funny. This is how we do it. He said, all right, we taught you all about grace. Now go out and live, you know, live like that, live free. But very careful.
Yeah.
Good stuff, man. I'm so glad you're here. Oh, by the way, that's Jay Skywalker. I don't even think we introduced him. We just went right in.
Introduce yourself now.
Yeah, introduce yourself now. You see Bizzle? Oh, I was going to say Bizzle. That's Derek Miner's fault.
Yeah, but that's great.
That's what is thought-provoking music.
That's good.
And
that's really, my record label.
That's really what we should be about. You know what I mean? As Christians, you know what I mean? It's not so much about preaching, but, you know what I mean, just displaying the gospel, presenting the gospel, and presented in a way where it's not so much as we're preaching at you, but like, yeah, you're living that way, and maybe you think it's working out, but how about this? Have you seen this? You know what I mean? This may work out better. You know what I mean? It's worked out better for me. You know what I mean? That's to me like kind of our presentation of the gospel should be like. You know what I mean? This is God. He's changed my life. You know what I mean? Living. You know what I mean? Patterning myself after this system that he's shown me has radically changed my life for the better. You know what I mean? Maybe you should check it out. You know what I mean? You should check it out. You know what I mean? Like, obviously what you're doing or what you're experiencing may not be working out for you. I'm sure it isn't. You know what I mean? And this is better.
Yeah,
you know
definitely good stuff. You know, we're going to get into one of your songs in a second. I just want to give a shout out to our sponsor because we're not going to have time to play videos and all that stuff. Naturally, Grateful Apparel. You can see it everywhere.
Today.
Wow. And this was
not planned.
This was not planned. I mean, we always rock Grateful something, but Jay Skywalker on his own.
Yeah, man.
Actually, I like that shirt a lot.
Yeah, man. Ray's my dude, man. Like, even beyond, you know what I mean, like we're collabing on a shirt for actually the song that we're gonna play. So we have a shirt me and Ray work together on. You know what I mean? So that's probably gonna be dropping pretty soon. Most likely for June-ish. You know what I mean? But
June-ish.
June-ish. Ish means anytime in June.
Not June 10th. June-ish.
Just so you know,
it's not June 10th. June-ish.
The design is finished. You know what
June's almost done.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? The design is done and everything like that. But like, I really appreciate. You know what I mean? I don't want to make it a Grateful Apparel commercial.
No, it's fine because we're not gonna be able to play the other one probably.
Nah, but Ray is really a good dude, man. And,
yeah, for sure.
And his heart is really in the right place, and what he does outside of the clothing line, you know, what he really does to change people's lives is incredible. You know what I mean? And I told him, like, you don't even talk about this stuff enough. You know what I mean?
No, we told him that for many years.
Yeah, I mean, like, dude, and it's not even about promoting it or promoting yourself, one like that.
What he does.
If more people knew about it, more people can sew into it. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? The home for guys who are, you know what I mean, trying to get their lives together. That's incredible. Like, you know what I mean? You hardly hear of entities outside of a church or some sort of you know what I mean, humanitarian organization doing stuff like that. You know what I mean? This is one guy. You know what I mean? Like, taking people in and transforming their lives. That's incredible. Yeah. And shouts out to you.
Yeah, gratefulapparel.com, 360 House.
Go buy every shirt that's on there.
Yeah. Like, they're all nice. They're all really nice shirts.
Wristbands, socks,
skateboards, all that.
Skateboards, everything. Buy everything.
Soon we get like basketball, football, NFL. Grateful. Also, shout out to God Belongs in My City, of course. You know, shout out to Triple Threat International Ministries as well. Shout out to Adorando con Flow, Eric E. Yeah, check out adorandoconflow.com. You're going to hear more about that in the next coming months. Adorando con Flow is going to be one of our sponsors for Rap Fest this year as well, so we're excited about that, and Eric will be here. Don't forget Rap Fest 2013, August 10th, the Boogie Down Bronx 20th anniversary is going down at Vidalia Park between Daly and Vice on 180th Street. There's an all-day Christian hip-hop event, free outdoors for your entire family. Special guests from all over the place will be there, so check out the site rapfestinc.com for more details. If you want to participate as a vendor or even want to get down on sponsorship, make sure you check out the site rapfestinc.com. Click on the sponsorship tab. You'll have all the information there. Or send an email to rapfestinc@gmail.com or contact Unique, UNYC, @gmail.com. And we'll make sure to get you any information you need to make your sponsorship happen.
Yes, sir. There you go.
The song we're about to play by Jay Skywalker is called ENOCH, Changing Addresses. Give us a quick rundown of what we're about to hear.
It's pretty much just it's kind of a prelude to kind of the direction that I'm taking, not necessarily musically, but it's topically. You know what I mean? It's just thinking eternally. You know what I mean? As Christians, you know what I mean? Let's stop. We have eternal life now. Let's stop thinking and using the mentality of just this current life. You know what I mean? It's about forever. Forever started the day you accepted Christ. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much what it's about. Amen.
So check it out here, Rapfest Radio, rapfestradio.com. The song is ENOCH, Changing Addresses by Jay Skywalker. We'll be right back with more.
Yes, sir.
walk in the spirit, leave the flesh tied up. We was upside down, now we right side up.
He paid a high price, so we owe him change. New walk, new talk, yeah, we change the ways. New mind, new heart, yeah, we change perspective. Christians don't doubt,
We just change the dress.
Christians don't doubt, we just change addresses. Christians don't doubt, we just change addresses. Christians don't doubt, we just change addresses. Christians don't doubt, we just change addresses.
This life will come to a dead end, something like a cul-de-sac, unless we get that change like we headed for the laundromat. You are your friends, product to your environment, so we stay in God's presence, we spending quality time. We don't go balling on the court of the lawless man. I am calm and short, I got all I need, amen. Jesus, he is my portion. Plus every soul is immortal and death is only a portal. I seek to procure only what I can pay forward. This isn't religion, it's a system of living, where for your every need, G.O.D. has made provision. This isn't mystical, matter of fact, this is practical. The gospel's down to earth, so this flow is like a parachute. By always I have left, trying to find me, you should check. I'm in my father's house, it is my forward in address. I'm sure you know this, I ain't perfect, I got blemishes still, but I'm trying to murder every spot like I'm Cruella de Vil.
He paid a high price, so we owe him change. New walk, new talk, yeah, we change our ways. New mind, new heart, yeah, we change perspective. Christians don't doubt,
We just change the dress.
Christians don't doubt, we just change addresses. Christians don't doubt, we just change addresses. Christians don't doubt, we just change addresses. Christians don't doubt, we just change addresses.
And everyone's complaining that things ain't the way they ought to be. Wanna change the world, then be the change that you wanna see. The blacks are getting shot up, it seems as if no one bothers. They dying to leave that hood, rest in peace to Mr. Rogers. Death and life, your choice, the cross standing between them. And my mission to be that salt, don't confuse it with Angelina. From the block where they move drugs, to the white hood cool clubs. They on the road to death, we stopping traffic like a school bus. We GPSing, we redirect them to the son who lived and died and resurrected. If his true life is a show, then the after party's heaven. So before you hit that door, make sure that you're on that guest list. They don't need ID, your life is the proof. Catch me in the VIP, vigorously in pursuit. I'ma grind like it's a slow jam, Jesus be the slogan. Childlike faith, so I'm killing off that old man.
High price, so we owe him change. New walk, new talk, yeah, we change our ways. New mind, new heart, yeah, we change perspective. Christians don't doubt,
We just change the dress.
Christians don't doubt, we just change addresses. Christians don't doubt, we just change addresses. Christians don't doubt, we just change addresses. Christians don't doubt, we just change addresses.
From the day the kid is buried, I vacate the cemetery. I'm an alien to this world, like my girl was Katy Perry. This world is on a crash course, I won't die, I'ma blast off. Cities in the heaven, homie, take a look at my passport. Never did a drug, but you can bet I live that high life. I'm living off that blood, homie, no twilight. Blood of Christ in my DNA, only way that we see them gates. The Holy Spirit's checking hearts, so the like you the TSA. Spit truth when I rap on tracks, they lie to stack that cash. To die is gain, to die every day, you can call that racks on racks. And my whole life it is entirely his, and I desire he and I to look like Siamese twins. Perfection is the angel, I am yet to hit the target, but the grace of God, it covers up my flaws like fresh carpet. Satan uses shame and our pain, and his aim is to take us out, but the gospel is good news, so this tour is like a paper route.
He paid a high price, so we owe him change. New walk, new talk, yeah, we change our ways. New mind, new heart, yeah, we change perspective. Christians don't doubt,
We just change the dress.
Christians don't doubt, we just change addresses. Christians don't doubt, we just change addresses. Christians don't doubt, we just change addresses. Christians don't doubt, we just change addresses.
ENOCH, Changing Addresses is the name of the song. That was Jay Skywalker.
Yeah.
So what are you working on? A new project now?
Yeah, I'm working on a mixtape that should be out the first week of September. Is
September-ish?
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Like I have a
September.
Like I have a working date in my mind and one like that. But I want to wait till I get a little further along. I have already like
September
about 4
5th
songs.
is a good date. I was born that day. Yeah.
So most likely it's gonna be September 7th. You know what I mean? I'm gonna do a whole event and everything like that.
That's not how it works. That's a Saturday.
Yeah, your
The song is
like
ENOCH, not Eli.
Eli.
Oh, sorry.
Book of Eli. Let me
That's actually.
Yeah,
That's on my mixtape.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
When was the last time you released like even just a full mixtape?
Like full, like at the full as in over 7 songs.
Right.
That was just my first album. Like
That's it.
Since then, like
the Jedi.
Return of the Jedi. That was
Jedi
7 songs. Like actually, there were technically 9 songs I did for that, and just before I put it out, I like scrapped 2 of them. So, cause like even
we
with,
appreciate that though.
but that's what I do though. You know what I mean? Like even with my album, there were probably supposed to be like about 14 songs on it. You know what I mean? And it's like, I'm not completely confident about this. Scratch it, scratch that.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's important. Now, you were part of a ministry that rapped at Rap Fest in 1996.
Yeah.
Tell people, because I mean, people don't know the history of Rap Fest 100% like that. You know, so any information we get is awesome.
Not really, you know what I mean? Rap Fest to me is like the premier event on the East Coast as far as, you know what I mean? And like, I try not to make it about like, oh, it's the place to go get on or get hurt.
But you could say that. It's okay.
It helps us.
You know what I mean?
But just tweet that a couple times.
We can make believe you mean it.
You know, but it's the truth, man. It's like it's really been a staple for New York for 20 years. You know what I mean? It's like it started. You know what I mean? I wasn't there the first day. Like when we heard about it, the day is when we tried to get on, and by the grace of God, we did. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? Then it was just in the parking lot.
Right, the little side parking lot.
But the thing is, it was still, to me, like a huge event to me. Like, you show up and like it was this stage and you know what I mean? There's like tables and like, and it was a good amount of people there, you know what I mean? So it's like yo, this is like Mecca or something.
Well,
like, you know?
and to put it in perspective, back then, there was nothing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There was nothing especially for a bunch of rappers. First of all, there was nothing for a rapper to go rap at. You know, everybody was making beats like in the closet. It was like in closet rappers. You know, nobody knew they existed. It was just a couple of artists here and there. Everybody thought they were the only ones.
For real, because we really seriously thought like when I started rapping, I didn't rap because I heard like somebody else somewhere rapping. Is like
same with us.
You know what I mean? It's like I started rapping in high school. Just fooling around, you know what I mean, when I should have been in class, but that's another story. You know what I mean?
We've all been there.
You know what I mean? So I was like, but I never took it seriously. I was like, I'm a Christian. I know that. Like even when you're in school and you're not really being Christ-like, in the back of your mind, you know you're a Christian, and there's a certain line you're not gonna cross. Like you're not gonna be a real Christian and have aspirations to be a rapper.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you know what I mean. It's only like a couple other guys in my church, who Adrian and Larry, you know what I mean, who the other members of the group, was a Christmas event, and they got up and rap. I was like, yeah, like
duh.
Like I could do that. You know what I mean? And that's really how the group started. It was Larry and Adrian.
Adrian, Glamour the Voice.
Yeah, Glamour the Voice. You know what I mean? Who's about to drop something pretty soon. Like he's been dropping it for like. But anyways,
this year-ish.
You know what I mean? So it's like so it was him and his brother, and it was me and my sister actually. You know what I mean? And at one point there were like 3 other members. At one point we were like 7 of us. And
right.
Like that.
So when you guys came to Rap Fest, there was a Soldiers of Armageddon.
Yeah.
They were like, to me it was like 20 guys.
Yeah.
And they all had the camouflage on.
Yeah,
came like stomping out like a sorority house.
It was
step
a bunch,
team.
Yeah, it was a bunch of us and went like that. And you know we had people rolling with us and went like that. And you know what I mean? Back then, like I said, we thought we were the only dudes just doing it and went like that. And then after we got around, we met Corey and Precise.
Actually, did you guys rapped? I think at the first Rap Fest we had Cross Movement. I think it was 96 or was it 95?
I don't think Cross Movement was it.
Okay,
like
so
I could be wrong because you know what? Because I remember meeting Cross Movement at an event. It probably was Rap Fest. That's the funny thing because like where else would we meet them? You know what I mean? So,
yeah, I think that was the first time that they had rock.
And that's the crazy thing. Like back then, it was like we were like a few like just hood dudes. Like every rapper was mad like hood and you know what I mean.
Real hood.
You know what I mean.
Real.
You know what I mean. Even the girls were a little hood. You know.
Yeah, it was very tough. Very tough.
I mean? But
I know my pastor. It took him like 10 years. He was shaking his head like, I don't know what you're doing. I don't understand. I don't get it. Why do these guys look like that? It took him a while to really understand it.
You know, that's the thing, but it's like that's the culture you come from. You know what I mean? And the funny thing is about like how I'm gonna show up to the corner in a suit and tie and like really try to like as right off the bat people are gonna throw walls up like, oh, what is this dude about? Like, you know what I mean? Was he trying to sell me a vacuum cleaner? Like what's going on over here? Like like it's not about what you wear, man. It's
and a funny thing for us is that, you know, and I say this jokingly, of course, but it is kind of funny. We used to confuse our neighborhood because we would come and do Rap Fest this August, bang, go crazy, and then like the rest of the summer we would have what we consider like a street service. So we had the whole drums, tambourines, the whole night out in the parking lot singing Spanish songs. People like, y'all just did this hip hop event last week, you know?
I mean, now it's like, what happened? No,
yeah, but you know, it's a little bit for everybody, which is the diversity is great.
And that's really, and that's one thing I appreciate even about you guys is the commitment. Because, you know what I mean, I'm sure you guys have been through a ton of stuff. You know what I mean, as I'm sure every other ministry and ministers go through. And to stay faithful, you know what I mean, a lot of times, you know what I mean, when things get difficult, you know what I mean, you quit. You know what I mean? Right. But, you know what I mean, and it's really a testament to you guys to, you know what I mean, to...
Oh, we've quit many times. We just keep doing it.
That's crazy.
Quit, and then we go, okay, so how are we going to do this now?
Yeah, after we quit, we're like, okay, we quit, right? Yeah. So now let's like volunteer to do this.
Man, and that's awesome, man. It really is. Because, like, even myself, like, you know what I mean, doing it for this long, I've thought about, you know what I mean, maybe it's time to hang it up, maybe chill out, one like that. But you can't quit your calling. Like, you can't do it. There's no way to do it.
Man, we could have a whole show on just that alone.
you can't just quit your calling. Like, if God has called you to do it and designed you to do something,
it's so true.
Like, what are you gonna be?
What would you say?
If you're not gonna be who you are?
Calling either.
Can't take a sabbatical from your calling either.
Like, you can't. Like,
as much as you
like, you might take like, even if you take a vacation, you're still going over it in your mind. Like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean?
I think every vacation I've taken, I've ended up rapping at some church.
Or doing something.
Or rapping at some church somewhere. You know, North Carolina, Washington, South Carolina, Puerto Rico.
Wow.
We did a Puerto Rico too. We went on vacation. The whole family. It was a whole family vacation. We're talking brothers, sisters, mother. Everybody's there. And okay, we got to get there at a certain time. We got a radio interview. After the radio interview, we got a concert. But we knocked it out in the first 3 days and enjoyed the rest of the week. You know, but yeah, you can't take a rest. I mean, you're a Christian 24/7. When you raise your hand and say, Lord, I want you in my life, you signed up for life.
Exactly. Your God designed you for your purpose. And one thing that I'm beginning to own now also is that your provision is connected to your purpose. So like let's say if you have a boss and your boss is sending you on a business trip, he's not gonna send you on a business trip on your own money. He's gonna give you the money that it takes to do it. He's gonna give you everything you need. You need to rent a car. You need a room. Blah 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 blah. He's gonna give you anything to do that. Exactly. But if you go somewhere else, that has nothing to do with your job. That has nothing to do with them. And that's one thing that I'm really beginning to own now as a, you know what I mean, as someone doing ministry, you know what I mean, full time, is that this is what God called me to do. Even if I was to say like, nah, I ain't enough money and I go quit and do something else, who's to say there's going to be money in that? That's not my calling. So so there's no guarantees over there. You know what I mean? But where God has placed me, there is a guarantee. The guarantee that he sent me, so he's going to take care of me. Whether it's done in a way that I'm familiar with or the way I pictured it or whatever like that. But I strongly stand on the scripture, you know what I mean, never seen the righteous forsaken, nor their seed begging bread. That's the way it's been.
And actually, Bizzle actually posted a picture of Philippians 1:6 today. You know, he that began a good work was finish it unto completion until the day Christ returns. And just seeing that as a reminder just really helps you kind of hone in and just like, okay, you started it, you're going to finish it. and then I'm sorry, it was like another reminder that I had even today was listening to K-Love was they were just talking about, you know, when you're dealing with all these things that you're talking about, you know, sometimes you begin to worry or, you know, wonder so much that you begin to stress. And it's like, why, you know, that only happens when you're not putting your complete trust in God. And it's in Proverbs 3:6. You know, lean not on your own understanding.
Exactly.
All your ways, acknowledge Him, and He will direct you so that you won't be stressed. You'll just be able, okay, God, you got this. Direct me now.
You know, one thing, what I wanted to say is there are some ministers and ministries out there that have had to stop what they're doing, but only because God was calling them to go on into something else.
Exactly.
So I'm 100% behind those. Those other ministries that quit because nobody's buying their music, they don't find enough places to rap at and stuff, then you start to wonder, should they have been there in the first place?
Yeah, and really, man, like one thing that I know about God is, especially in my life, is His agenda is always to make me more like His Son. Right? So you might not be finding places, you know what I mean, to go rap at him or like that. Maybe you're just not grinding hard enough. Simply put, like maybe you're sitting there waiting for everybody to come call you when you need to put your pride aside and go pound the pavement. You know what I mean? At least for a season, you know what I mean? Especially starting out, like, dude, you're not gonna just throw a song up and everybody's gonna be like, oh yeah, oh my gosh,
yeah.
you know what I mean?
Revival.
You know what I mean? And because I've seen people take a lot of stuff to heart, and I can't even say seen a lot of people because there's times when I was like, dang, son, they could have hollered at me for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I being just straight up.
I'm available.
You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, what's for you is for you, and you can't be mad at anybody else's success. Right. Or you know what I mean? Like I've seen dudes get straight up bitter. You know what I mean, about stuff and one like that. And at the end of the day, my man is like, first and foremost, if as a Christian you're being bitter about something, there's something messed up with your relationship with God, first and foremost. Which
is exactly why you're on this side of it.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And that's where it starts, first of all. And second of all, you know what I mean? Nobody can take what's for you. What God has designed you to be, go, do, accomplish, that's only you're designed to do that. Whether it's, you might have visions of grandeur which might not have been in God's plan for you, which may be the source of your frustration, you know what I mean? But it's not like, again, from the sermon on Sunday, one thing that jumped out at me is like, God's most precious gift is people, souls. And that again is the difference between the spirit of mammon and you know what I mean, and being a follower of God. Like mammon is all about money, about like how much I'm getting paid, this and that and the other. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with getting paid. But when that becomes your driving force, your goal, you're no longer serving God.
Right.
You know what I mean? And God puts most value on people. Money is nothing to God. But He died for people.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I mean? So if you're at a place where, you know what I mean, it's more important for you to make money than it is for you to serve God through serving people, then yeah, you might have to take a back seat for a while until you straighten that concept out. And you might not be able to be the one to decide to take a back seat. God might just shut you down. And you're getting mad at everybody else, and it's not their fault. God shut you down because your mind ain't right.
Right. That's so true. That's so true.
And I think people also have a twisted sense in their mind of what prosperity is.
Yeah, that's a whole long sermon.
That really prosper you, but you know, there's so many ways that you can prosper, and it's just not financially. And just because in your ministry you're not seeing the financial blessing of it, but just being in God's will and walking in the purpose God has for you will bring the flow of the
exactly.
blessing.
You know, I just thought about it just now. Is there money in heaven? Like, after we die, what importance does money have?
None whatsoever.
And that shows you the perspective of where you should be looking at. Like, if it doesn't last after you die, then it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal to God, and it shouldn't be a big deal to you. You know what I mean? That's really just straight up and down. Like, you know what I mean? The only thing, what passes the grave? What makes it past the grave? That's what you should be concerned about. You know what I mean? Money is only here for you to equip you to reach the real treasure, which is people. Right. You know what I mean? Like, and going back to what I was saying earlier, whatever God has called you to do, He's gonna provide for you to do whatever it takes. Like, I have no problem with dudes flying around in jets and all that stuff like that. This is not a big deal because it's not important. Right. You know what I mean? If you need a jet to do God's work, then by all means, God is going to give you whatever you need to do His work. Right. You know what I mean? And it's not my place to judge you whether you should have a jet or a Rolls Royce or whatever. That's like, I have no clue how God is using that. God, like, I don't know God's mind in your situation, so I can't judge you on that. You know what I mean? If you're in a golden house, you know what I mean? Like, that's between you and God, my man. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? All my job is to do what He sent me here to do. And if it's not about people, then I'm not doing what He sent me here to do.
Good stuff, man. We could be here all night.
Yeah, really.
Well, actually, we can't because it's already 9 o'clock. But definitely, I want to thank you for coming out. People know that they can get in touch with you on Twitter as J Skywalker Music, or on Facebook J Skywalker Music, or Right Side Up ENT.com.
Yeah, just today launched my personal website jskywalker.com, so you can check it out. You can find music there, jskywalker.com. It has music, events, all that good stuff, everything you need, contacts. You know what I mean? Just to make things simple, jskywalker.com.
jskywalker.com. Don't forget, mixtape coming out June-ish.
Actually, that's September.
Oh, September-ish. Sorry.
The Grateful Apparel t-shirt.
Oh, Grateful Apparel t-shirt is June-ish.
Oh, yeah.
And the mixtape is September-ish.
Yeah.
Full-length project, maybe next year-ish.
Oh, yeah. Rap Fest, August 10th. Yeah, you know what I mean? I'll be there.
August 10th. 10th-ish.
No, but June 28th in the Bronx. Actually, at the church that we had Rap Fest at last year, I'm doing an event.
Calvary?
Yeah, Calvary.
Oh, nice.
So June 28th.
That's the paper route.
Yeah, the paper route tour. Like, that's an unofficial tour that I'm doing. Pretty much just running around the country.
Just running.
Pretty much. Just like, we have dates in Connecticut, stuff going down. Things working out for the June 28th event is myself, is Jay Cabasa. We also have Cypher from Jersey. He's coming down too. Then I have my man Conquest is gonna rock too, and also Brooke Lugo Smith, I should say, before her husband cuts me. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be a dope event. You know what I mean? Come through. It's only $5 to get in. You know what I mean? It's gonna be a great event. And I'll be almost all new music from me at that event too, so
nice.
Good stuff. You were gonna say something?
No. That was just remembering the name.
Oh, okay. Cool, man. So again, don't forget, next week we have Swin. Is it Swin?
No, it is.
Hold on.
So talking about the track we're gonna play right now.
Yeah, we have 2 tracks that we're gonna play for you guys back to back. Actually, Yavez, who's one of our special guests for Rap Fest, he has a video out called Testify. We're going to watch that. And right after that, we're going to watch another video, this one by Bizzle, called You Know. And again, shout out to Grateful Apparel, all up in that video.
Grateful is, my man Ray is doing his thing right now.
Fire Jaws is next week.
Oh, Fire Jaws is next week.
And then Eric.
And then the week after is Eric E.
Yeah.
And then the following guest, we'll keep announcing the
Swin. The following is Swin in July because we have the July 4th week.
All right, cool.
Next week, Fire Jaws, and the week after.
Yo, have you heard Blau?
Nah,
Blau by Fire Jaws.
It's crazy.
He's from Jersey too, right?
Yeah,
it's my dude, man. I haven't really linked up with him for a while. We've usually been chatting on Facebook and stuff.
Yeah,
that's
good dude, man.
Good dude.
Good dude. Yeah, he'll be at Rap Fest. So don't forget, Rap Fest 2013 20th anniversary, August 10th to the Boogie Down Bronx. Go to rapfestinc.com and check out all the details. If you want to get involved as a sponsor, hit us up, rapfestinc@gmail.com, or contact Unique, UNYC, @gmail.com for the details.
In case you didn't hear it.
Huh?
UNYC, just in case. Y, not I. You didn't say I, but
UNYC. That's the email address. Anything else? Nope, we good.
Go get your God Belongs in My City shirts, your Grateful Apparel shirts, and show up to a Triple Threat event and come up to Rap Fest. That's
right. Adorando con flow.
Adorando con flow.
Cool.
And Testify by Yavez.
And if you missed it, just go to holyculture.net, download the podcast.
There you go.
Peace, Jay. Thanks for coming out, man.
No problem, man. Thanks for having me.
rapfestradio.com. You will learn us because we are out of control. Here we go.
Turn my music. Mo Jesus. Bless me. Y'all ready? Let me cook. No Lil B. I flow, your God flow is a Lil G. I'm Jack Hanna in the jungle where gorillas be. The way I write the feeling be a beautiful soliloquy. Fight like a soldier, stand like a king. The spoils of victory, share with the team. And every avenue that leads to the green means nothing if you die and lose your soul at the scene. But body bag, the body dies. Can you swim the trail of tears from 1,000 eyes? Angels broken wings, so they fail to fly. Similar to Beelzebub, the angel thrown from the sky. The vengeance, the revving of engines. The school of the cool, where they pray for attendance. Social networks, where they pray for attention. I just pray at the gates that my name gets a mention. Hold on, G. Let me testify. Let me testify. Let me testify. Hold on, G. Let me testify. Let me testify. We gon' touch the sky. Hold on, G. Let me testify. Let me testify. Let me testify. Hold on, G. Let me testify. Let me testify. Yeah.
I'm gonna record you two at the same time.
Alright, we recording.
Turn my music.
Hey!
See, man?
Bless me.
I said it's the vengeance, the revving of engines. The school of the cool, where they pray for attendance. Social networks, where they pray for attention. I just pray at the gates that my name gets a mention, followed by a well done. I ain't cooking steak though, I'ma lift his name high. Sit back and lay low, up under my 5 panel. I ain't got no halo, but every day perfecting on my faith though. I'm on that Peter Paul, they on that Peter Pan. They don't wanna grow up, with me, I'm on my grown man. You on that Roseanne, no disrespect, I'm just saying, I don't understand they dialect. And if Christ ain't the all in all, then life is work, and I'm calling off. It's a tightrope, and yeah, I'm falling off. Good luck with that. Might as well talk. Hold on, G. Let me testify. Let me testify. Let me testify. Hold on, G. Let me testify. Let me testify. We gon' touch the sky. Hold on, G. Let me testify. Let me testify. Let me testify. Hold on, G. Let me testify. Let me testify. Will I ride? Will I ride?
Yo, what up, y'all? Welcome. We got my man DJ DMD on the ones and twos. And coming to the stage right now, it's your homeboy. He go by the name of M.O.E. Money over anything.
Yeah.
Yo, if you love money, make some noise.
Yeah.
Saying I got money and you are broke.
You got money and we are broke.
Saying I got money and you are broke.
You got money and we are broke.
I got money and you are broke.
You got money and we are broke.
I say bang bang killers.
Bang bang killers.
Bang bang killers.
Bang bang killers.
I say bang bang killers.
Bang bang killers.
Say bang bang killers.
Bang bang killers.
Yo.
What are we doing? Listening to this music got me finna lose it. You've been given a voice and you just abuse it. Most of what you were spewing is useless. Coof with a roof missing, a few bricks and a loose clip and a two spitting and who dissing? Yo, check this out. No, you listen. Y'all gon' have to cook that crack you pitching in a new kitchen. So you say the rap game like the crack game. True indeed. But hold up, if you the dealer, then who the fiend? I'm hearing you don't let your own kids hear your music, but it's cool if everybody else kids listen to it. The name Bizzle, God over money is the movement. Bretta never influenced the direction we steer the youth in. 100 rappers like, ooh, get 'em. A couple rappers will listen and feel I'm dissing cause the shoe fit 'em. But if you fit a pair, homie, you can get a pair. The shoe won't change unless your feet do. Get it clear. They saying hip-hop's dead, let it die. This the birth of truth music, the death of lies. God over money, I rap 247. Boy, act like you know. Call 911 and get them boys new clothes. The game gotta change, homie. You know. So act like you know. So act like you know. What are we facing? Stuck with a
bum reputation for smuggling drugs, pimping and thugging in front of the nation. A white boy shave his head, you think he a racist. So if you tatted, don't get mad when they think you a gangster. We all profile, homie, the only difference is most of they point of references are negative images. You throw a pair of glasses on, they figure you smart. You throw a rag on and cats gon' figure you hard. But hold up, what if in every movie you saw the killers wore the glasses and the rags meant that you soft? So if you not black and you rarely interact with us, rapping, hey, you swearing we strapped to keep crack with us. So how you get mad at the stereotype for believing a lie without getting mad at the liars? And I ain't saying the stereotyping isn't dumb, but if you mad at him, then be mad at the one he gets it from. They saying hip-hop's dead, let it die. This the birth of truth music, the death of lies. God over money, I rap 2-4. 7 boy, act like you know. Call 911 and get them boys new clothes. The game gotta change, homie.